Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. We are back in the base, and I think we've got a pretty good base. I think we've got pretty much everything we need as far as starter bases go. We are making all the science. We're making some ammo. We're making all the things that make the things. I want to spend this episode just kind of going over the base and do kind of a Sins of the Past episode, where we go and look just to make sure everything's working and see if there are any mistakes that were made that can be corrected. Sorry, let me correct that. Let's find the mistakes that were made so that they can be corrected. I know there were mistakes. Okay, so we're in the refining section right now. I think refining's going really, really well. We're definitely creating a lot of crude. We've got it backed up, and we have since like one of the first... Since we first tapped the oil, it's been full. Even though we expanded out our refineries greatly, they're not all running because we are just backed up on petroleum gas. We have a lot of it. Is all of this hooked up? See, you go over here and you come down and go through here. Okay, it is all hooked up. It's not just backed up because these guys are the only ones running because petroleum is backed up that far. It's just backed up that far. We have 9.9K oil in there, 10K in there, which means that all this is working fine. Our logic we set up. That is good. We're making solid fuel. We're making rocket fuel. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 solid rocket fuel factories and 8 solid fuel factories. 14 rocket fuel, 8 solid fuel. Now, if you look at this, 30 seconds takes 10. These take 3 seconds. This math is not difficult. I don't know how I messed this up, but I completely did. Now, it's not entirely that straightforward because the crafting speed, it's only running at 75% of this speed because of the crafting speed of these blue assemblers. And this one's actually running a lot faster. It's 1.25. So, in my defense, it's not that far off. But we could stand to definitely do better here. Maybe not exactly 1-to-1, but at least we could put a couple more of these machines down. Just put a couple more down, and I think we will be fine. Let's see. Let's get that there, and let's see. All those look good. We just need to change that. Okay, so that'll go through. We need a pipe coming down and connecting there, and that should give us what we need. Now we are in robot range. Yes. Okay, so those plants are just on the way. Granted, the ratio is not perfect, but it should be a lot better than it was. And if we make excess solid fuel, that's just fine. So that's 12 to 14. That's close enough. That's close enough for what we're going to be doing. Plastic backed up. We got 10 machines. That seems like a very good number. Not all the plastic is being used right now for reasons we will get into later, but even when it is running at full, these plastic machines are keeping up well. Power-wise, we are still 100% on coal, steam power, and we are looking not bad in the power department. Can't complain too much about that. We have the capability to go to nuclear at any point. Let me just fix these power poles since we're fixing the sins of the past. Those power poles right there were a sin. But yeah, I mean, we're doing fine on coal right now. The whole factory is doing fine with coal and steam. So there's really no need to go nuclear until we start expanding more. And at this point, looks good. We're still getting this patch knocked out. I've got all these targeters. I don't know why. I thought that maybe they were like single use or a couple of uses, and they weren't. I don't know why I made so many. But we definitely have extras now. Now let's go ahead and get some of these cleaned up that are out. You're out. You're out. You're out. And you're out. The speed modules did help a lot to get some of these guys cleared out. That's for sure. All this is done. Great. And we should be able to put some of these other speed modules, probably in the really thick ones here that have a lot of stuff. Like, not that one up there, but like these in the middle here still have a lot of stuff to mine out, and we can get that stuff in there done. Actually, let's just go ahead. We've got plenty of modules. Let's just throw them all in there. Let's get this all emptied out. And getting that emptied out, it's one of those things, I just want it out of the way. Then we could run these copper lines maybe a little bit better. It's not this ugly mess we have over here. I don't know. We're running 3 lines in there, and it looks like they're starting to back up from putting the speed modules in there. I guess we'll go ahead and leave that now for now. But, I mean, we've got plenty of smelting. Now, these smelter designs are somewhat obsolete since the 16 update came out. The belts aren't being fully compressed, and it seems like we had some issue with these like last 8 down here weren't being able to put their plates down, so they're kind of worthless. In the future, I may make it where just these lines don't go out so far. Maybe just trim the last 4 off since they're not really used anyway. There's also something I've seen done where you take like the first 12 and, you know, after you get to like the first 12, you break off and put a underground belt like right here. Oops, nope, that's not where you do that. We should do that down here. So something like this right here. And then put a splitter right here, and about halfway down, take the stuff off, and about halfway down, take it into this separate line, then so you have 2 lines that are merging together. That helps with the compression, and it may help with these guys on the end. I'm not sure. I'm not too worried about it right now. We've got plenty of production. It's backing up. It's compressed because it's backing up. We've got blue belts coming out, and they are not moving it out fast enough. We're not using it fast enough. So I think it's in a good shape. I'm not too worried about it. Copper, we ended up with 6. Now see these guys down here. This might be a good spot to play with that, because this line is not compressed. Yeah, let's do that down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the halfway point. Let's grab you. Bring you out to there. And we'll put a splitter right here. Oh, let's see. That's not going to quite work the way that I think it probably should. Let's take you underground, bring you out. And what we'll want to do is that right there. Right? Right. And then right about here, we'll just take that up through there. So the first 12 furnaces go north, the last 12 furnaces here go south, and then they get combined together right there. Actually, I didn't even need to do this. So yeah, we'll let that run a little bit. The line coming out is now compressed, and hopefully it'll catch up here in a while, and it'll let these last 8 inserters drop their stuff actually on the line. We'll see. But yeah, you can compare these 2 lines coming out, and you can see that this top one is definitely a lot more compressed than the bottom one. All right, that looks good. All right, coming up to the start of the bus. We made concrete here. We made way too much concrete. That was a mistake. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Gears on the bus. I really, really, really like this. I know there's arguments for not doing this on the bus to make it into your things where it makes it more efficient, things like that. I don't know. We're running, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're running 12 gear machines. 1 bus line, red belt. It's supporting our whole entire factory. And we don't have to worry about integrating in gear manufacturing into our setups. We just pull the gears off the bus. I like it. I really like it. I'm a true believer now. I think I'm going to be gearing. I'm going to be bussing gears from now on. Nuclear, we just kind of threw this in here. I think this would be better done in the mall. We have a copper and steel line in the mall. We have gears in the mall. We can make pipes in the mall, and as well as like concrete and chips. We don't have those, or we have red chips in the mall. We don't have concrete, we don't have pipe in the mall, but those can be made on site or brought in via logic chests. I don't know, it just makes more sense to me not to have this here, but to have it in the mall. And I may move that if we continue on with this factory. Gears, or not gears, circuits, green circuits. I think this has been a pretty good setup. This one's even backed up over here. This one is not. There's reasons for that. We'll get into those later. But yeah, I think this is about right as far as green circuit production is concerned. I think we got it just about right there. I'm not going to complain about that at all. The uranium setup here, I have altered that a bit. I made way too many of these. Way too many of these, and our lines are just backing up. And look at this, they're still backing up. And as long as this is backing up, we're not doing what we should be doing. So I added some more. I added a lot more and also separated out the lines so that basically the main line coming through here is this outside line that just stops right here. So the only uranium-238 that is continuing on to the bus is the leftovers from the Covarex process, and that should be 2 every time this thing runs. And we're still backing up. So I don't know, it's working a lot better than it did. It still needs to be redesigned. We need to get some things being made to use some of this uranium, basically, is what needs to happen. And we probably need to cut down on this production as well, if I'm honest. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and take 2 of these out. Actually, we could probably take a lot more of these out. Let's just take half of them out. We have so much uranium in these buffer chests right now. We probably don't even need to be making any, if I'm honest. But yeah, I mean, we haven't really even started using a lot of nuclear stuff yet, so yeah, that was a mistake. That needs to be reworked. Red circuits. So looking over here at this factory to the right, I'm surprised nobody pointed this out, but I had one copper machine, one copper wire machine to 8 of these, and that's not the right ratio. The right ratio is 6. Disgusting. We've had that this whole factory. Nobody pointed it out to me. So all this has basically 4 extra machines on the end of each one of them. But I mean, it was doing fine. We kept up on reds, fine. Now over here on the left, I used a setup that was suggested in a comment for direct inserting, and I really like this setup. The design submitted had these lines on the outside, and it made it 2 tiles wider. I just brought them, the plastic and circuit lines on the inside, using the underground belts, and it made it it's just so compact. And this over here, this one on the left, is the same amount of machines as the one on the right, believe it or not. And look at the size comparison. It's quite impressive. Now the ratio is not perfect on this. We actually we're producing extra copper wire. The actual ratio is one of these machines to 6 of these machines, not 4. But I don't know. It looks good. I like it. I like it, and it's keeping up well. And it could even support more of these because it's backed up so far. We could probably do 3 or 4 more of these setups going up this way. I like it. There is another setup that I was taking a look at. It's this one right here. That this one does have the proper ratio. It's just it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger, and there's a lot of open space in it. We could do that, but it's actually wider as well as taller, not as compact. And I don't know that I care if I'm overproducing these in the middle. I mean, what's the worst that's happening? We're losing a little bit of electricity. That's the worst that's happening, and I'm not too concerned about that. One thing I would like to do, though, is tear this down. Tear all of that down because it's wrong. And let's see, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this one, this other blueprint I have set up here is this, but in the proper ratio. And I think I just kind of want to plug that in for now. Let's see, where did it go? Right here. Yeah, and even looking at this setup as opposed to this setup over here, there's more machines over here to the left. Much more machines, and it's still a lot smaller. Let's see, this is a mess here. Let's go ahead and just fix that up. And let's get these guys hooked up here. Let's see, you are going to be copper coming out there. Copper coming out there. You are going to be these guys coming in. This should just fit. All right, and that will start making those with that setup. I don't know, maybe we just run them side by side for a while and compare, but right now I'm definitely liking this one to the left a lot better just because it's more compact and it only uses one line of copper coming in, where this one has 2 yellow belts coming in that aren't really used. This one only has one, and it's used. I don't know. This one just seems a little bit more efficient. I like it. Blue circuits. Blue circuits have done pretty well. I had to expand it a little bit, add a couple more machines on the end, but it seemed to be keeping up fine. I like having this box here. It was a lifesaver back when it was time to create armor. I definitely suggest that, just having that little buffer there. Even though it takes a lot whenever you are running low on blue circuits to have this here, just this big surplus, this big buffer here. Sure is nice when it's time to create armor, just to have all that stuff stockpiled. The mall's the mall, and it's worked out really well for us. I switched this over here to make these buffer chests. I don't know if I figured those out yet, but I do want to play with those at some point. I have an idea that I may use those buffer chests for. But no, the mall's been doing pretty well. Now, usually I have to end up updating this belt to red, the gear belts as well as the circuit belts. I didn't have to do that this playthrough, and I'm not sure what I did differently. But it seems to be working fine. We've never really wanted for anything. Everything that we needed was always there. Science, we're having a problem right now with yellow science, and I'm not sure what that's about. We'll have to look at that. But I think this science setup's gone well. Probably could have expanded it out a little bit more, but it doesn't look like we can right now with this yellow science being bad. Red and green science, or red and green science. Military science has always been good. We have always had our buffer chests up here full of ammo ready to go, even though that stuff is kind of obsolete at this point since we have the uranium ammunition. Blue science was been up and down. It was limited by gears, and maybe a good argument for not having gears on the bus, but once we got that figured out that was the problem, it was an easy fix, and we haven't really had a problem with it since. We do have plenty of miners here ready to go. One thing I may look into in the future is putting engines on the bus. We just use them in so many places. We use them here. We use them for the robot frames. We use them for purple science as well as making trains and pumps and cars and tanks. I don't know, it just seems like it would be a good thing to have on the bus, especially since it takes all this stuff over here. I don't know. Something to think about in the future. It's definitely the candidate for the next thing to bus, I believe. Both the regular engines as well as the electric ones. Batteries, sulfuric acid, explosives, all that stuff looks pretty good. We've never really wanted for batteries. We've always had enough production. How many do we have there? 8? Yeah, that's been good. Robot frames, we have way too many robots. That was definitely overproduced. How many robots? We have 2,800 construction robots, plus what we have in the can here. I think we need to stop making those at the moment. We have enough robots for a mega base as far as the construction ones are concerned. Logistics, we may find use for those later, so I'm going to leave those the way they are, but I think construction bots are good. Accumulators, laser turrets. We haven't used any laser turrets yet, but if we expand this out to mega base status, we definitely will. Okay, yellow science. Here's our yellow science. What is wrong? Why are you not making? You are not making because you do not have enough copper. Okay, you are not able to drop your copper down. Let's update this to a faster belt. And we'll get copper out on the line, actually. And let's update these to the blue grabbers, because you guys need to get a lot of material in. $30 copper every 14 seconds. You make 4 copper a second. We need another machine, don't we? We are short a copper machine. And are you able to put your stuff out? You are? All right, that should help with the yellow science quite a bit, I believe. 17, 18, 30. All right, that's much better. Huh, out of copper, who knew? Okay, purple science, we were having some issues here with the metal furnaces. We're getting enough stuff, I believe. I think it's just a matter of getting it in quick enough. Yeah, so hopefully that will help. You need like a lot of that stuff, right? 10 and 10, yeah. Yeah, doing the blue grabbers there will get that in a lot quicker and let those be made a lot faster. I mean, we're not running low on purple science by any means. It's just that it's not going as fast as it should be. Modules, we have modules being made. That is good. We don't have enough modules being made. We need more modules being made. We are running low on red circuits, and that was probably because I had the red circuit machines down for a while. Let's just run down here real quick and make sure that the reds are catching back up. Yes, you are making stuff. The guys on the end here are getting copper. Okay, that one is working better, and this one just works. This one never wants for copper. All right, it'll take it a while for that stuff to catch back up, but catch back up it will. Yeah, and modules, if we expand this out to Megabase, we are going to want to take this one right here, as well as the speed module one, and we'll create just a lot more of those. Rockets, everything here is just backed up and ready to go for our next one. And, yeah, bullets, all our bullets. We are making a lot of bullets. We have a lot of bullets. We can make more bullets. We need to find a use for this 238. Right now, that's the only thing really using it. You guys are making shells. Yeah, I figured that we don't have any cannon shell damage. None at all, which is why the cannon shells weren't really as impressive as I liked. But yeah, that's the factory. And I think for a starter base, it is looking pretty well. Let's go ahead and launch this rocket. Be actually our second one. But we can go ahead and let her fly. Right, and it will get back to working on other stuff here. Let's go ahead and update those to blue so they get going a little bit faster. And I'm sure all of that stuff will be used up rather quickly. Let's see, can we get some... I think it's these guys that you're supposed to use in here. Yeah, there we go. Now we'll get some free rocket parts. Use a lot less resources. All right, well, all of that is going. Here is our starter base. Here is our starter base. Thank you very much for watching this series. I'm got a couple different things that I'm thinking about for the Factorio series. One is to take this factory and continue it into a mega base where we start doing something, I don't know, maybe just trying to launch a lot of rockets per minute or doing science. I don't know what the goal of it will be, but just make it to where we make more things. And another thing, you know, I was playing with the artillery in the last episode, and I was kind of meh about it, and I realized why. I went and watched some videos, and I'm meh about it because of the rail world settings I have, where the biters don't encroach on us, and there just aren't as many. Boy, when you have like a death world or something like that, the artillery train going outside your walls and clearing the area, it's incredible. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm not going to be able to really use that on this map very much, but you know, I was thinking about maybe starting another series that has a lot more biters. I don't know, maybe I'll do both. Maybe I will expand this base out into a mega base in one series and then have kind of a little side series going where there's a death world going on and we're blasting stuff with artillery. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I will think about it though. But I would like to thank you very much for watching this series where we attempt to play practical Factorio. I mean, everything works. We're making stuff, and everything works. That is the definition of practical to me. Are all the ratios perfect? No. Is all the math correct? Definitely not. Are there things we could have improved? Yes. But everything here actually works, and that is what is important, and that is what I find fun. But, yes, again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next Factorio series, starting here soon. All right, have a good one.